Hello, guys. What's up? We'll be starting in a few. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening. I hope you're all doing all right today. Now, today we're gonna be structuring this a little bit differently. I'm gonna start off with just like a couple bits of news and stuff that I do want to talk about, just while everyone lines up and gets in the rooms. But I actually have like a class today that I want to teach. I want this to be like a virtual lesson. If you want to take notes, you can take notes. YouTube recently added a quiz feature, and I have 9 exercises that we're going to do together that I would love for you to participate in. In fact, I need you all to participate in, because if you don't, then the stream won't last very long. But I will be doing like a little bit of a spiel first, explaining some things. We're going to be talking about digital hygiene today. Now, again, I really do feel like a teacher. Feel free to take notes. There will be a quiz, and I already got my notebook ready, ma'am. Attaboy. There will be a quiz. It is not mandatory. However, your participation in the actual, in the actual things that I have planned today, the exercises, as well as whether or not you choose to do the test, not necessarily your score, will determine the level of security clearance that you're going to have on the new Matrix server going forward, as we are getting ready to launch. It will be a couple days. It may not be ready by tomorrow, but I'm really hoping that it will be. If it's not my fault. But before we get to that, and while everyone else comes in, let's talk about the big news that everyone's talking about. Kat Abuzala losing. Now, I've heard multiple different people blaming this or that, like some people blaming DSA, some people blaming Hassan. I blame voters. Lake County has 770,000 people. Between Dems and Republicans, only 139,254 voted in total. In total. It's actually funny. The Republican side basically got like total 12,000 people to show up. Most of that 139,000 is Dem voters. But there are 508,896 registered voters in total in Lake County, meaning that 27.8% of people showed up to vote. Kat Abuzala lost by 4,000 votes. I don't care about the DSA or whatever Hassan said. She lost because people didn't show up to vote. 27% of the district showed up? Are you kidding? That's it? The lack of civic engagement is a moral failing? Not just a moral failing, it's a systemic failing. And the reason for this is because these people don't want to, they tuned out. Politics is exhausting. It's like every time I look at the news, it's acid in my eyes. As I can't remember his name. Someone said that in a video that we watched recently. So they tune out. They don't want to listen. They don't care because they don't think that it matters. And this is why I say, don't expect electoralism to save you, but still go and vote. Listen, I asked a lawyer, voter fraud isn't advised. Oh, I'm aware. Andre Adams? Yes, that one. By the way, so I posted this, right? And then I commented this, 27% of registered voters voted. This is why we can't have leaders who give a shit. You need to give a shit first. Positive, lasting change, positive, lasting, effective change only ever comes from the bottom up. And Twitter decided, oh, sorry, it was this message. 27% of the county showed up to vote in total, and that's insane. Kat was 4,000 votes from winning, and these spoilers wouldn't have mattered if people actually showed the fuck up. This was visibility limited because it was, quote, hateful conduct, according to Twitter. Now, that visibility limiting has been removed because I said, hey, Grok, please explain to me how this could possibly be considered hateful conduct. If facts like voter turnout being low is now hateful conduct, I'd like to see a quote from X's terms of service. And, well, Grok said, this doesn't violate X's hateful conduct policy. It bans attacks on people, groups, blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't. But, like, yeah, there's nothing here for us to ban you for. MacArthur, is Visora cute? Apparently I'm cute enough that I broke Grok and it had to respond in Spanish. So, you know, there's that. Taking notes, 20%, 27% is a new dog whistle of some nature. Yeah, you know what? It's the dog whistle against the median voter. That's literally what I'm gonna use it for. Fuck that. 27%, the median voter. Now, checking in with the war with Iran. They fucked us good in Bahrain. We have finally photos now of the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet facility in Bahrain that got bombed early on. And let's take a look. Newly released photos show some of the extensive damage caused to the facilities of the naval support activity in Bahrain, which houses the headquarters of U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet following 2 weeks of ballistic missile and drone attacks by Iran. Brunch lovers is a new slur. That too. I like it. I like it. Take notes, guys. This is not part of the quiz, but I would like that. So, oh, NSA Bahrain. I wonder why they targeted the NSA when, you know, this is a naval support base as well, but, you know, looks pretty bad, y'all. Yeah, that's not gonna, you know, hold the weather out for one. Brunch munchers? Chufa Poofer, you are excellent at coming up with dog whistles for people who don't want to engage in fixing the world. This isn't even dog whistles for, like, any particular ideology. It's people that just don't give a shit and won't try. So yeah, you know, they fucked us good. That's kind of what I'm saying. And yes, see, I'm not the only one that noticed NSA Bahrain there. Is it 4D chess to get your base bombed? No, but it's also not 4D chess to get all of your bases bombed to the point where you have to retreat to India. Damn, the IRG used less lube than I did on my Hex, but on a naval. 10 out of 10. I'm pinning that one. It's so refreshing to hear someone pronounce Iran. I mean, yeah, listen, and other names like it properly. True, true. I will say though, unfortunately, if you're looking for an accurate depiction of how bloodthirsty the American government is in relation to the Iran war, I highly recommend looking at Fox News. Because they're being quite honest about it. They were talking about, you know what? I'll show you. This is not the only instance of this, but here's Newt Gingrich with a genius idea to fix the issue of the bottleneck at the Suez, not the Suez, the, geez, I'm losing it, the Hormuz, the Strait of Hormuz. Instead of fighting over a 21-mile wide bottleneck forever, we can cut a new channel through friendly territory. A dozen thermonuclear detonations and you've got a waterway wider than the Panama Canal and deeper than the Suez and safe from Iranian attacks. Now, he's responding to a satirical article here, but I'm pretty sure Newt Gingrich isn't being satirical. I don't think he can. What's up, Boku? And what's up, Sylvie? Guys, if you didn't catch the beginning of this, I'm going to be teaching an actual class today after we get through some of the little bits of news that I want to cover, and I need you guys to participate, like, genuinely. And your participation will determine your security clearance in the new Discord, which is Matrix. Newt is a true visionary? Yeah, that totally would work. You know what? I'm for this. Let's use a dozen thermonuclear bombs and open a waterway wider than the Panama Canal and deeper than the Suez. Let's do it. You want to cut through what? Dubai? Yeah, let's do it. Please, 12 thermonuclear detonations right by Dubai? We really are in the cyberpunk timeline. Fucking Newt Gingrich. And to be fair, I mean, we're in a really bad timeline. You're on time for class? Yes, you are. You guys are all actually early, because class hasn't started yet. I'm just, yapping first. So, remember how I said earlier the news is acid in my eyes, like Eric Adams said? Not Eric Adams. Jesus. Andre Adams. Eric Adams is not that funny. The dumbest possible idea with nukes? No, the dumbest possible idea with nukes was, I believe, last year when they wanted to nuke a hurricane to make it go away. I think that was with one of the ones that hit Florida. I told you the nukes were coming. Anyone without a bunker and training survival is fucked. The nukes aren't coming. That's not talk about nuclear war. They're talking about using nukes to open a new canal. And also using the nukes to open the new canal next to our allied territory. However, I will tell you that it is World War III. Like, the Ukrainian-Russian conflict and the American-Israeli versus Iran conflict have now become intertwined. Ukraine has sent interceptors and their, like, support teams and specialists to the region to support American and Israeli attacks, which has pissed Iran off because, you know, they're allied with Russia, and Iran's now threatening to start throwing Shaheds towards Ukraine, and if they did that, that would draw Europe in, and, I mean, that's kind of the whole plan. I told you all this was going to happen. I'll get to that. We have 2 links until I get to that. First, I have to put some acid in your eyes. What the fuck is this, even? Like, what is this even? Lolly Adolf Hitler? Like, where are we in the world? Who wants this? Like, I know the amount of pedophiles on this site, and every Nazi is a pedophile, but, like, are you fucking kidding me? Also, backwards swastika, so, you know. But, I mean, ideally they get that wrong. Who makes this shit? It's slop for Nazis, so probably AI. They know Iran has pocket nukes, right? Iran doesn't have nukes, Simply Steve. The former Ayatollah literally had a fatwa against nuclear weapons, meaning, like, he believed firmly that the creation of a nuclear weapon would be equivalent to punching God in the face. like assaulting God. Now they will get nuclear weapons because his son was never going to be the new Ayatollah. He didn't want his son to be the Ayatollah, and his son had like a reputation. But he was democratically elected after he killed his father, his mother, his sister, his wife, his like everybody. So yeah, no, now they'll get a nuclear weapon. And you know what? I hope they do, because if they do, we'll stop fucking with them. I am 100% on Iran's side here because they're not doing bad things. They're not even hitting civilian infrastructure as much as possible. Like, sure, they are, like airports, and it's Dubai. Who gives a shit? It said the name of the actress playing the Nazi, which implies it's an animated art production. I suppose. I don't know. I don't think Nazis can make art, so, you know, I imagine it'll be like AI slop that's dubbed over. Now, don't forget that we will be invading Cuba next. That will be happening soon. If you are unaware of what we're going to be doing with Cuba, here's a quick little rundown.
You don't know why the entire
And then I will tell you why.
nation of Cuba has been plunged into darkness, but you don't want to look like a thicky dum-dum in front of all your mates. Here's a quick rundown before your regime's squeezed dry as well. Ooh, painful. You'll remember that back in January, Donald Trump invaded Venezuela and kidnapped its president, Nicolas Maduro, aka South American Borat. Please. At the time, Haunted Forehead and Donald Trump's human butt plug, Marco Rubio, said that Cuba would be next.
You know, Cuba is a disaster. It's run by incompetent, senile men, and in some cases, not senile, but incompetent nonetheless.
Which was...
God, I love every accusation as a confession. Honestly, like, in the case of us, we do this all the time. Like, you had Hegseth last week talking about the theocratic death cult in Iran, where, like, they literally don't want the death cult. They're fighting the death cult. And you're wrong, Simply Steve. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would announce that they had a nuclear weapon. That's the fucking point of a nuclear weapon. It's not to use it, it's to say, hey, look, I have a nuke. So, no, they don't. And they literally had a religious leader, their supreme leader, say, no, that shit is haram. YouTube sucks, so I'm here. True, fair enough. It's okay. If I get banned off of either YouTube or Twitch, or both, I will be streaming on the new Matrix server. So be sure to join the Discord, because that is where you will start off, if you're not there already.
It's a bit of a lie, because what actually came next was bombing the tits out of Iran, causing widespread regional conflict, destabilizing the world's energy supply, and causing the death of thousands of innocent people. Oh, and an attempt to invade Greenland.
I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland.
He means Greenland. Anyway, now it's Cuba's turn, with Haunted Forehead human butt plug Marco Rubio saying the US wants to bring about regime change.
Marco Rubio has hated Cuba. Like, he hates all of South America so much. But I'm going to tell you why in a second.
There, because the current regime change project is going so well. Anyway, since Borat got nicked, the USA have placed Cuba under an oil blockade, meaning they've now run out of oil and can't keep the fucking lights on. Which means hospitals can no longer treat people, and the UN World Food Programme can no longer relieve suffering from the massive fucking hurricane that hit Cuba.
However, I've seen reports that Cuba has received like several hundred Chinese solar panels, and that there is a cargo ship of Russian oil headed over there now. What is the Latino version of a house slave? I don't know.
4 months ago. So essentially, the US government are trying to starve the Cuban population into taking to...
Marco Rubio, that's what the version is. Marco Rubio built his entire personality around his self-loathing. Well, to be fair, like, all of them are salty and stupid. Remember that Ted Cruz quote about, like, I hate communism. My father was killed in Cuba. Well, actually, it was Batista that killed my father. Like,
the streets to topple the government so that they can impose another human butt plug, not this one, to do whatever Daddy Donald wants. Now, the tale of Cuba and Iran are actually kind of similar, because the reason the US fucking hates Cuba is because in 1958, when the Cuban Revolution happened, they nationalized the US oil refineries, because why should America have Cuban oil? And funnily enough, that's exactly what the democratically elected Iranian Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh said in 1951 when he nationalized the oil refineries in Iran. And then boom, not so fast, partner, the US sponsored a coup to replace the Prime Minister also would the human butt plug known as the Shah, who was in turn toppled by the Islamic Revolution in 1979, which has been terrorizing the Iranian people ever since. But we don't talk about that. Back to Cuba. Now, the thing is, the Cuban regime isn't absolutely fantastic, with the government clamping down and imprisoning critics and protesters, which is obviously something the Americans think is awful.
Yeah, listen, it's all hypocrisy. You don't need to really get further than this. All you need is this. I told you this would I've been saying this for 2 years. Also, thank you, Ian Leo. Speak the truth, sister, from your brother in Canada. Hell yes. Now, I've been literally saying this for 2 full years. Why this is happening. First, listen to Pete Hegseth repeating what I have said is going to happen for 2 years.
President Trump has drawn a new strategic map from Greenland to the Gulf of America to the Panama Canal and its surrounding countries. At the Department of War, we call this strategic map the Greater North America. Why? Because every sovereign nation and territory north of the equator, from Greenland to Ecuador and from Alaska to Guyana, is not part of the global South. It is our immense security perimeter in this great neighborhood that we all live in. Each one of these countries border either the North Atlantic or the North Pacific.
I don't know if that's my internet or if that's the video. Now, stream looks healthy, so that's probably not my internet. But I told you all, I've been saying, I've read this so many times over the last 2 years. This is from Alexander Dugin, the man that Russian state media calls, quote, Putin's brain. This was before the election. Europe must be brought in line with the broader multipolar model to which both Trump and Putin agree, as do Xi Jinping, the ruler of Great China, Modi, the great ruler of Great India. Therefore, Europe must become great or it will cease to exist. I believe that in the foreseeable future, modern world is an alliance between Putin's Russia and Trump's America. However, before that happens, the most critical... Ukraine must belong to us, not to Europe, not to America. At the same time, it's entirely conceivable that Canada will become the 51st state. We have no objections. Or that Greenland will become American. We have no objections. And even if Western Europe becomes American, we probably won't object too much either. As Putin once said, European elites, Ukraine, Belarus, and the Baltics are ours. As for the Middle East, Russia is taking course towards establishing a union state with Iran. In regard to this, we indeed find ourselves in the contradiction with the United States. It's not a big deal. Yes, the Russian-Iranian union state will oppose the U.S.-Israeli alliance, but in the end, we'll inevitably find common formulas for a truce, zones of mutual influence in this confrontation. They've literally said it out loud multiple times. Great China, Great India, Great Russia, Greater Israel, Greater America. Multipolarity. They have split the world up. They've cut it up like a fucking pie. And you get this and you get that. Hell, I don't know who the fuck Australia belongs to in this scenario. I would imagine China. Which would be kind of nice, honestly. Like, if I had to be conquered, I'd prefer being conquered by China. And the grade A white power KKK members is about to take over the DHS. Well, if it makes you feel any better, simply Steve. Right now, the plan is a short return to status quo liberalism after 2026. They literally want the Dems to win, impeach Trump and Vance, put them in prison, and then they're going to run, Tucker Carlson. Who, by the way, remember last stream I talked about Tucker Carlson and why it would be literally impossible for anyone to beat him. That is, other than, like, maybe Jon Stewart. Especially if he runs with John Kiriakou as his VP. Well, right after that stream, Tucker Carlson's 2028 presidential odds double in the wake of rumors that he may face criminal charges as a foreign intelligence asset. He is a foreign intelligence asset. He works for the Russian government. He literally went and talked to Putin for like 3 hours and got made fun of by him. He went, this is a Russian agent. And for some reason, the American public said, you know what? We want the Russian agent. To be fair, even if we do remove all of the people that are currently annoying, we'll leave a few of them behind. John Ratcliffe and Tulsi Gabbard will likely be safe. Maybe not Tulsi after today, but John Ratcliffe will be. The guy from the Instagram Reels? Yeah. Oh, you weren't here. Let me show that video really quickly. It's that exact guy, Comrade Lily, and that's why I think this is really fucking scary, because this is the Gen Z vote.
In Pennsylvania's 4th District.
I think I can win it.
It's at the time, it was a blue dog district. It was Democratic, it was conservative, pro-gun, pro-life, pro-labor. Okay, the pro-life thing, it's a problem for me. But I'm pro-gun and I'm pro-labor. And the rest I can convince people, I think, of my positions. Anyway, she said, I've always supported everything you've always wanted to do, including my whistleblowing, which was, we all paid a very high price. She said, I'm putting my foot down on this.
You are not running for Congress.
Well, I seem to have just exploded on TikTok the last 3 weeks or so.
Perfect timing, Shuva Pooper. The Gen Z vote is sadly the TikTok vote. Yeah. And people will be like, Russia never fucked me as bad as America. Plot twist. Russia was America all along.
Like, epically, it exploded. And somebody set up a John Kiriakou for President website. Ben Swan showed it to me the other day in Miami. I was like, what? And he said, yeah, there's a John Kiriakou for President website. Well, the last time I talked to Tucker Carlson, I said, hey, Tucker, I got to tell you something funny. I said, in the chat on my podcast, a lot of people are saying Carlson Kiriakou 28. And I kind of chuckled. And he goes, a lot of people in the chat on my podcast are saying Carlson Kiriakou 28. And I said,
Some stranger things have happened, buddy.
So, this is what I mean. Comrade Lily, he's really interesting. I've watched him on his podcast. He was on So Bad. But he's a Fed. He's former CIA. He was a whistleblower at the time. But, like, he goes on these podcasts now and he's blowing up. Obviously, he's not saying anything the CIA is going to not let him say. He's only saying things that he's allowed to say. And he's close with Tucker Carlson, which he is.
Turning to Tucker Carlson. You were on Tucker Carlson just a few days ago, Clayton. I've been on a couple of times. I think I'm going to go back on in the next 4 or 5 weeks. I like Tucker very much. I can
See what I mean? Very, very dangerous. There's not really any candidate that the Dems could run. There's really not a candidate that I can think of that would win that race. And that's really bad. I would never vote for this duo, but I think John is really fun to watch. I think if they ran together, it would be very hard to beat. Yeah, because you would need somebody who is able to out-debate bro and embarrass Tucker Carlson, which isn't really hard, but, like, not really anybody in politics can do that. And that's more of like a YouTuber type thing. You need to be funny, you need to have charisma, and you need to be able to embarrass these people. You need to be able to... Hassan would lose. I really think he would lose. Like, you need someone like Hassan with his ability. You need his riz, his ability to debate bro, but you need someone funnier. Also, he's an immigrant. Yes, technically, like, immigrants should be able to run for president according to the 14th Amendment, but they're getting rid of that anyway, and law doesn't exist, so who gives a shit? Hassan would not win in this case. AOC would not win in this case. Mamdani would not win in this case. It doesn't matter who we have. I can't think of anybody to run. Jon Stewart is the only person I could think of to run because he has debated and embarrassed Tucker Carlson before. But I don't think he would. Hassan is bad at debate. He'd lose. I don't know. I've really never watched many debates of Hassan. I've only done 6 myself, and I've never lost. But, like, you need more than that. You need confidence, charisma. You need to be able to maybe get yourself in a little trouble. Maybe make accusations that might result in a defamation claim, but, like, do it well enough that they can't actually hit you with the defamation properly. Jon Stewart and John Oliver. Jon Stewart and John Oliver as a duo, maybe. That's our best shot. Literally, I can't think of anything better. Jon Stewart and John Oliver. However, I would want Stewart as the VP and Oliver as the president. That is possibly the only combination that could win here. Hassan can't run, neither can Mamdani. AOC won't win. They hate women right now, and she's still a bit too young. Not Colbert. I could go with Stewart and Colbert, I guess. If, like, worst case, I could see that. But, like, again, they don't want to run. Oliver couldn't, though. He's from Britain. Nah, that's true. Okay, well, I guess Jon Stewart and fucking, what was his name? I literally just read it out. Stephen Colbert. Maybe. That's our best shot. Alright, before we get into the lesson and I start teaching the class, I just want to show you like a nice little fun video. Today's not going to be like a horrific stream. We're going to go over some important stuff. There will be a quiz afterward, and I need you to participate. I have activities for us to do together. But first, let's have a look at the this cat that jumps the US-Canadian border constantly. This narco-trafficking cat who is trafficking catnip.
This is Zero Avenue in South Surrey, and
Also, Comrade Lily, I literally just talked about the voter turnout in Kat Abuzala's vote. 27% of that district showed up to vote in total. That's it. Out of 500,000 registered voters, 140,000 showed up. Total. That's including Republicans.
these picturesque homes sit smack on the border. This side is Canada, across the street, the United States. No fences or concrete blocks, just a little ditch and signs warning, don't even think about crossing.
Oh, it's very secure, yeah.
And people follow the rules except for one resident, him. Unfazed by jurisdictional authority, he is the Canadian border-jumping kitty cat.
You know, most animals don't seem to give a shit about arbitrary borders, although this one is narco-trafficking kitty catnip, so you know.
Illegal. What?
I think it's because he's got 4 legs, not 2.
Decidedly confident, ignoring the watchful gaze of border agents and that machine
He's like, what's ICE gonna do?
in the sky that's as useful as the dog as far as he's concerned. Several times a day, almost every day, he shows little interest in international law and carries on his very important work of mousing.
You can say Maine Coon Boku. First off, it's spelled differently, and it's only a slur if you're using it as a slur. How dare that animal not obey things only us understand and aren't real? Exactly. And it was also a beautiful cat. Cool. Hey, that's the guy who sold me catnip. Oh my god. Gotta arrest them.
Little cat keeps coming back and forth and says hello to everybody.
His name?
Louis.
Officially Louis Vuitton.
He's French? No wonder.
Like the designer, and his styling cross-border feline feet.
Cat didn't make a mistake, Sylvie. People didn't show up to vote. If you want change, you have to actually show up to vote.
Are now so famous.
I love it.
He's become a local legend and a social media star.
It's a bit mind-blowing. He kind of flaunts his recklessness for the law.
Now, Mr. Vuitton is particularly good at catching all sorts, and he has been known to smuggle the goods across the border and leave them on the doorstep.
I bet he did not declare them.
We're not sure whether U.S. agents have caught up with him for questioning. We do know he had no interest in a TV interview.
Doesn't go through customs. He's got a passport.
If he did...
He's got a passport! Oh my god. That's quote of the day. 10 out of 10. Passport? Hell yes. Okay, everybody. So, let's talk about digital hygiene. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a spiel here. It would be nice if some of you took notes. I need you guys to actually practice these things in your life. This is not just for me. This is not just for the Matrix server, but this is for your life. But let me make this clear. Having something like Matrix to use means nothing if you don't have digital hygiene practices. If you are flaunting, like, for example, Signal, right? Let's imagine that it wasn't compromised. Let's just imagine that it wasn't compromised. The feds love when you use apps like Signal, like SimpleX. You know why? Because generally, you as a person designate that as your naughty, like, things that shouldn't be seen chat room. And so when they want to look through what you're doing and what you're talking about to figure out, you know, if you've done something wrong, if you're doing thought crimes, you make it significantly easier for them because they just go and look at your signal logs after they take your phone rather than have to go through all of your logs and find one by one the things that like they actually are looking for. So these steps are all broad scope. Now, the activities I have planned here, a lot of them you can't physically do. I just want you to pretend to do them, and some of them we're going to do together. But before we get to that, like, I need you to understand that you are always being tracked. Businesses are collecting your data online and in person, constantly. In 2026, just in Australia, even, they launched a massive sweep to stop everyday businesses from misusing this information. However, the state is still harvesting it. So there's all of that involved here. Your face is data. You are often being watched without your permission. This is why, like, my phone has this on it. Slide it open, slide it closed. That way, at least my front camera isn't directly looking in my face. To be fair, I hate having this phone. I would much rather switch off that phone, but that's a whole other thing. But like, let's say you go into a store, 7-Eleven, you're not wearing like a mask. They're scanning you and they know that you're there. By the way, it doesn't like you carrying your phone with you, any electronic, like they're tracing your geolocation anyway. But like you need to start wearing a mask. I don't give a fuck if there's like people that get mad about you, like, oh, there's no pandemic, or who gives a shit? Just wear a mask. Wear a mask, protect yourself. Or put like weird face paint on. Fun fact, you can request all of your logs from Twitch and it will most likely show up empty. You will think, oh cool, they didn't store it. Then looking at yourself through any mod view, you'll be like, oh, never mind. Yeah, you can still delete your social media account and request that they delete the information. However, like depending on, like a lot of them still do actually do it. Like I know Meta does, but they might not. Just say you're immunocompromised, that's fine. I don't have a phone, only a landline, even better. Now, you have to understand that it's not just about your safety, it's about the financial cost. Ignoring your digital privacy, ignoring your digital hygiene is gonna cost you a lot of fucking money. In just 2025, like half of 2025, people lost nearly $6.5 billion to digital scams. $6.5 billion. Just half of 2025. So there's some foundational things that I'm going to need you guys to start doing. And again, on Matrix, we're going to be siloing information. As in, I don't want anyone to have access to every room. This includes both my server and this space's server, which we will be running together. So this space, folks, if you don't follow this space, by the way, go and follow them, support independent media. But this space, folks, will also be in here with us. And the rooms that you have access to are going to be based on whether or not you tried, your trust level. Now, first and foremost, the first thing that you can do, the easiest thing you can do, is you can download something like this, KeePassXE. Now, this is an offline password manager, as in, you can keep all of your passwords, instead of having Google auto do them, on a flash drive. Literally, like on a flash drive, it's locked with a password, and you can just import everything that you have on your Google passwords or whatever onto that thing. Now, on KeePassXE, there are a lot of cool features. I'd show you them, but I can't because it doesn't allow me if I tried to open it and screen share it, it would show up as blank. You can't see it. But so this is a way that you can keep your passwords offline and safe. Also, like, you could just buy like a password book, but that's the other thing. So I can actually have different difficult passwords. Yes. The other thing is it will generate passwords for you. You can generate passwords that are like long, short, words, symbols. In fact, I want to try something with you guys later that's going to involve this. But just to give you an example of like a password that this can create. So let's say I choose words instead of just random bunches, and I want a separator in the middle, so every word that it writes is going to be separated by the number 7. That's a randomly generated one that it just came up with. Spoken 7, tidbit 7,000, 7, tributary 7, veal. Just instantly. Otherwise, if I want to do password, let's say I want to add ASCII to it, I want to add all of these different symbols to it, and I want it to be 20 characters long. That's what that looks like. You can specify, you can choose it, but even better, most people use a Windows computer. And if you're on Windows, every key that you type is locked and it gets sent back to Windows servers. Now, KeePassXC has a feature where, let's say you're doing stuff and you have your drive plugged in so you can have your passwords open. You can get, whether you're using whichever browser you're using. I personally like Firefox, but I might have to switch off that eventually as they're making it worse. But it doesn't matter, whichever one you're using. They do have a plugin that has a button. So like anytime you want to enter a password, you can just have it enter. It'll work just like Google does, where it's like, hey, put this password in. Or even better, you can have it remotely type out the password. So there's no actual keystrokes to record. There's no copy and paste record. None of that. It will write it out step by step. This will be my good replacement for my Bitwarden. Perfect. Bitwarden's also good, but this is fantastic. You can keep it encrypted. You can keep it off of your computer. As of Windows 11, true, but like default, like every Microsoft app has a default setting for sending them hella data unless you manually change that anyway. Yeah, Windows 11, 100%. 10 does it too. However, on 10, it's easier to remove using like tools like Shutup 10 or Shutup 11, which actually, that reminds me, I should probably link this, guys, too. It's good to do this regardless. This one's easy. So you click on this, you download this, and when you open it, it will ask you, hold on, actually, maybe I can run this one. Do I have it, or is it on a drive? No, it's on a. It'll ask you whether you want to, first it'll make you make a backup, and then second it'll ask you if you want to just use the recommended settings to turn off. Just click recommended, restart your computer, you'll be fine. It'll just turn off most of the big spyware. It won't clean it entirely, but it is what it is. Is it the AI integration stuff with Firefox Visora? Yeah, kinda. It depends on how much they fuck with the ability to go and turn things off. Like, Firefox allows you to go into its actual settings, which is kind of like Mulvad browser, which is better than Firefox and more secure, uses a Firefox base. Tor uses a Firefox base. So, it is what it is. Also, Tor is getting much worse as we go as well. But I need you to stop recycling your passwords. This is why I've given you this tool, KeePassXC. If you want to get it later, if you're watching this on a video, this will be in the video description below. And you need to stop recycling them. Every single login should have its own password. Ideally, every single login should have its own email. Now, you can do this, by the way, by using throwaway emails, using services like temp mail. Is there a Discord? I can't find it. That's the link. Oh, a Discord to something else, or what? Temp mail is good to know. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. There's a few different services that you can use, but like, let's say you're making something for an account that you're not going to regularly use. Just make it with temp mail. Throw it away afterward. Doesn't matter. Don't give them your bullshit like email address. If you're being asked at like a store to give them an email address and you don't want to give them yours so you don't get all the ads and shit, just give them one of those. But also you have to like understand that a password alone is not going to protect you. Now, a good password will protect you far more than a bad password, but you should have two-factor authentication on. Add mandatory second lock to all of your important accounts. Yeah, no, none of your data is the problem here. This is broader than the government spying on you. This is everything. This is the ability for them to preempt you. Like, don't give them everything they want. You can deny a little bit of information, and that is better than not denying them at all. You don't understand what I mean here, Boku? Like, sure, you might think that you're fine. Do as much of this as you can anyway. because why not? You might be fine, you could be doing great. Ideally, two-factor authentication would be like with Authenticator or YubiKey or something other than SMS, but SMS is better than nothing. Exactly. I was going to give Atlas as one that you can use, but, you know, YubiKey works as well. Two-factor authentication does not require a phone number. That's true. Biz, can you possibly explain what I mean by cyber liberal? By cyber liberal, you mean somebody who is putting their head in the sand because they think that they are okay and they don't need to do the work. So that's what I think you mean by cyber liberal. But to be fair, I am not entirely reading chat. I'm teaching this class right now. Are there also ways to poison their data supply? Well, absolutely. You can make accounts that are yours and then do things that you don't actually do. You could visit sites that you don't give a shit about. You can set up a bot to do it from your IP. You can give your phone to somebody and have them go somewhere where you're going without them. So like you can do a lot of things. Lying on the internet is great for that in general. But again, stop using the same passwords. Stop using the same emails, and stop giving your real email address to anything that's not like ultra. Like if you're going to ID verify, give them your real email address. If you're going to give them your phone number, then give them your real email address. But do not do this for like an online store or something. That being said, it depends on the company. I think Twitch may have an authenticator option as well. It does. Twitch does have an authenticator option. Most platforms have that option now. A phone number is like an emergency contact. Yeah, I use authenticator for everything. Another thing you could do is that you could treat your phone like your house. You can clean your phone. Your device, like, keeps everything. You can delete apps that you don't use. You can set software to update automatically. You can delete files that you don't need. You can clear cache. You can just have your phone export all of the important shit you want onto a drive and then reset your phone and then reset it again and then reset it again and then put that stuff back on there. You can do a lot. Now, the other part of this is you're gonna see an increase in AI scams. Again, in the first half of 2025, $6.5 billion were stolen by scammers using AI. So it's getting faster, it's getting harder to spot. Your voice can be stolen. Poke in your face. Criminals can and do clone your loved one's voice using several seconds of audio. A thing that I've often told, and one of the things that we're going to practice today, is coming up with a code word for your family, especially if you have, like, your parents are still alive. You need to set a word with them that you or them can ask to make sure that they're not AI. Because your parents are more than likely the exact demographic that's being targeted the most. And it's also just good to have. It's a double check, just in general. Keep your identity hidden as much as you can, but like you can't always, and so you have to have backup plans for when it's not. You also have to protect your physical data. Digital privacy means protecting physical information. It means don't carry a whole bunch of electronic shit with you that you don't need. It means if you're going somewhere and you don't want, I don't know, everything on surveilling you, like obviously they're going to be able to surveil you through satellite, through your like license plate, whatever the fuck, that's still happening. But you can put your phone in a Faraday bag. You can, you know what, hold on, I'll actually go get a Faraday bag. I forgot I have to show these because I'm going to put them on the video. 2 seconds. Get a Faraday bag like this. They look like this. Magnetic seal. Inside's built of a mesh material. Locks with a magnet. Turn your phone off, put it on airplane mode, turn it off, put it in here. This is meant to block anything getting out, any signal, anything getting in or out. It's a good strat with older people you care about. It's also a good strat with anyone who's politically active. It's a good strat to have with your friends. I think everyone should be doing this. And again, this is one of the things that we're going to be practicing later today. My voice has been stolen and used on a family member. Note when an unknown number calls you, look up the number before you pick it up. That too. But like, yeah, this is why it's good. Because if you say, hello, who is this? They got you. Yeah, Exactly. Now, I don't worry about that because my voice is online. There's hundreds of hours of my voice. But I have a word with my parents on that. Never say yes or no to a sus scam call. I mean, generally, I just don't pick them up. But I've had my social security number stolen and had my identity faked. And this was before I was even an adult. I was still a minor. This was before AI, where I had to go to the IRS and explain that I am not a 36-year-old man with a wife and kids in Pennsylvania and another family somewhere else. Like, it doesn't matter. They will still rob you. I'm 30 and I'm a she, but you can call me whatever the fuck you want. I don't particularly care. I don't believe in gender. It's a social construct that's in your head that only matters when you're engaging with somebody that cares about it and you care about it in that instance. Don't recognize the number, don't answer it. I answer it. Like, I like to live on the wild side. But if you're gonna do that, be aware of what can happen. By the way, destroy old records. Like, once things are used, destroy old bills, receipts, shred them, burn them, that show your name and address before you throw them away. If you're throwing them away, destroy them before you throw them away. Public Wi-Fi networks also track you. Your home Wi-Fi can literally see your physical body, like at any given time, where it is, by the signals that it's sending out and your physical body being in the way. Eat the receipt if you must. I mean, you won't have to, but like, if you're throwing shit away, destroy it. No, I'm not an idiot. I said you can call me whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. I don't believe in gender. Also, pay the fuck attention. If you distract me again, I will mute you. We're teaching a class here. If you want to engage in the classwork, cool. Otherwise, please be quiet. You are distracting the other students. Now, when you're going out in public, and you're gonna have your phone on you, right? Like, let's say sometimes you don't want to put it in a Faraday bag. Another thing that you could do is you can turn your phone's MAC number to randomization so that it's harder, and you can make it private Wi-Fi address in your phone's network settings so that it can't really connect as well. It doesn't work perfectly, but it's better than nothing. This makes your phone kind of like a fake ID-ish, but it doesn't mean that they can't track you. But anything that you can do is good. Anything that you can do. Every single action you take is better than not taking any action. Faraday is also quite good for protecting from car theft. That's like the most common use that I know of. Yep, that works too. Put your car keys in there. Put your credit card in there. Put your wallet in there. Put your earpods in there. Your fucking smartwatch in there. Or just don't have all of these. Did Viz just yell at me? No. I yelled at a Twitch chatter. Well, I didn't really yell at a Twitch chatter. I told a Twitch chatter to pay attention. But if you weren't paying attention, well, then, you know, pay attention. The other thing is, like, it's your Wi-Fi network, it's your phone, it's the street cameras, it's the street cameras being able to track you with your gait and your height and your weight and your tattoos and your face and all of that. Like, can you possibly cover yourself from all of these things at once? No. No. It's not feasible, nor is it comfortable, nor is it realistic. But you can do what you can do. You can do one step at a time, little by little. It gets easier the more that you do it, because all of these are habits that you need to get into. And the more that you get into these habits, the easier then it'll be to continue doing the habits. And giving less of your data to these demonic baby-eating company owners to do whatever the fuck they want with. Again, I had to look into the law because I'm going to be I've created the Matrix server, well, not fully, but like, it's gonna be up and running within a day or two for my community and this space's community. And to do that, I had to look into the legal obligations of what data I have to keep. What am I legally obligated to keep in case of, let's say, a subpoena? And I'm legally obligated to keep as little user data as possible. That is the law. That's the actual law. And I don't have to ID verify you to join Matrix, unless, like, you know, it's not safe for work stuff. But like, it's gonna get worse. I need you to understand this, because right now we're fine. In a couple years, AI algorithms are going to be analyzing the data, your body language, predicting whether you're doing thought crimes. Some grandmother just recently got arrested because AI had a false positive, and those are going to get better. Those are going to get stronger. Those are going to get more accurate. You'll like a video on TikTok, and they'll know. They'll know, and then they'll follow you throughout your day, and then they'll fuck with you. They'll have fucking autonomous, like, you think that in a couple years, if we had, like, an actual rebellion, the government would be sending soldiers after us? No, they're gonna send robots and drones. It's robots and drones. So the better way to go about it is to hide, to build an enclave. They will fall apart themselves eventually. The contradictions must. It is a fact. There's no other outcome for them. We need to survive until then. This is a cool subject. Digital hygiene has been on my to-do list since like November last year, but it's kind of actually daunting. You sit down for like hours and set all your stuff up. Well, again, you can do these bit by bit by bit, and once I'm done, like we're about to start practicing some of these together. I have 9 exercises that I've laid out that I want to do with chat, and I want all of you to engage with it. All of you to interact with it, like, to the best of your ability. Some of these are obviously not as easy to do in person, but like the alternative is your data goes into this pipeline. That's it. It's this pipeline, or save your data, save yourself, hide your shit. The last thing about the 4 years, I'm finally upgrading from a 7. I don't know what that. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're talking about Motorola's. I do know that Motorola recently made a partnership with Graphene OS, and they might be coming out with a phone that's going to be graphene capable. Now, I don't really trust Motorola, but that would be cool. So many old accounts, RuneScape or whatever. Oh, you played RuneScape too? Hell yes. Old school or RS3? Because I still play RS3 sometimes. I'm maxed. Those are all nodes of security risk IMO. Oh yeah, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. All of them. Google Pixels. I would love a new Google Pixel, but fuck them, and they're making graphene incompatible anyway, and also I don't have the money for that. Also, you could donate if you want to give me money so that I can buy a secure phone. For example, the company that is the one that I use to create the VPS that we will be running the server on sells a phone. They have their own, and it comes with graphene built in. And I'm thinking about that one maybe. Like, I don't know. I like their service. It's pretty secure, and it's in a country that has real privacy laws outside of the 14 eyes. And like, I'm already hosting the Matrix server from it, so we must undermine these fucking peepers. Oh, absolutely. Speaking of games, I highly recommend checking out where Winds Meet West. I don't really play games too much anymore, really. I was lying when I said I still play RuneScape. That was like 3 years ago when I had a life outside of this. Okay, let's do an exercise together. Let's do a, remember the password I explained? I want you to make a password. All of you just come up with a difficult password. Your idea of what one is. And we're going to vote on who has the best password. Together. Yeah, I deleted all of those, like, email accounts a long time ago, except for the one that runs RuneScape Hybrid Heathen. But, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you lose. You are at the bottom. Eric Prince came out with that new OP system that can't be hacked. When you see he worked with Israel, I mean, obviously, that's where all the tech stuff is built. Remembering the flock cams are publicly accessible and are everywhere, constantly tracking your movements alongside with AI recognition. Yep, and also don't forget that they have powerful microphones built into them that can hear small conversations in big cities. I like that one, Shufa Poofer. That's a good one. Come on, guys. Give us a good password. You did forget special characters. Hybrid Heathen is currently in the lead in my vote, but, you know. Silas, that's not a bad one. I would throw some numbers or symbols in there, but, you know. They auto zoom on phone screens too? Yeah, of course they do. Come on, guys, participate. Sylvie, give me a password. Come on. Boku, stop fucking around. Pay attention in class. Do you want detention? John Davis. That's a good one. Same with Mr. The Same. Thank you guys. Now, what do you guys think? Who has the best password out of, like, everyone here? My vote, really, is between Jet and Hybrid Heathen. I'm gonna go with Jet is my vote, honestly. Ghost Pepper, you need numbers in there. You need special characters in there. You need maybe ASCII in there. So, like, the idea of this password, the one I just put in chat, Jet's password, the pin in YouTube. The reason that this is a better password is because it has a bunch of, actually, you could probably do better and add a couple other symbols into there. But, yeah, actually, there we go. Sylvie, that's a good one. These are the type of passwords that you can auto-generate with KeePassXC, like I sent you guys. Even better ones. Like, for example, the one I gave you that I generated as a passphrase looked like this. Tiny, thinly 7, spiny 7, blast 7, cruncher 7, fraternal. One of those is in caps lock. Like, yeah. Have different protocols for passwords based on what they're for. All passwords are different. Yes, exactly. For example, I use different types of passwords for different things. These word type passwords are for some things, and these more advanced passwords, like this one, are for other things. I can't even remember how to type that. That one has to be written down. That one has to be in a password manager or in my little notebook for me to be able to understand it. But that's okay, because again, KeePassXC is one you can keep on a flash drive with encryption. Like, not just a password. I mean a KeePass file, like a key file, that you can keep on a separate drive. So that even if they get the drive, they still can't get in because they don't have the KeePass file, which is on a different drive. There's a video going around made in Australia about a commercial building outside, but inside has a Olgi? I don't know what that is. Everyone is a mod in chat that's not actively a right-winger, but yeah, Boku, gotta say, you're not doing well in my class. You're kind of at a D right now. So, like, go and change your passwords. Download something like KeePass. It doesn't have to be exactly that. There's multiple different ones. I just prefer that one. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. But it's worth doing. Now, moving on. I want you all, I'm going to do this with you. I want you to pick up your phone, and I want you to find one single app that you have not used in the last 6 months and delete it. If you can't actually, then just pretend to. Go along with it, alright? I'm going to do the same thing with you. Let's set a 60-second timer. 60 seconds, and we're going to go and delete one app on our phone that we aren't using. Or, like, haven't used in months. Just one. There we go. That'll work. Hell, I'm doing 2. Uninstall. Now, again, if you don't have one, just go along with it. Would be cool if you could use BitLocker, but I think Windows doesn't even allow consumers for to use it. I think you can, but, like, I use BitLocker for other things. Done? Sick? Well done. Now, let's wait for that timer to go off. 24 seconds left. But it's important to do this because old forgotten apps are still secretly tracking your location, gathering your data in the background. They're milking you. Having a hard time doing the actual uninstall, but, like, you're trying, so, Old wallet app, perfect, that works. All of these apps that you aren't using anymore that are sitting on your phone are still monitoring you, or still gathering your data. I just deleted a game that came with my phone. Perfect, well done, A+, gold star, everybody. Yeah, that's up. That's time up for that one. These are all little things. Again, like, you don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to change. Do you know how daunting it is to go through every single password you have and change it? Or make a new account with a new email on every service you have? No. Do not try and do that. Like, do not attempt in your head to prepare to sit down and do it all at once. Do it one by one. Because once you have that mentality, it'll be impossible and you just won't do it. So many useless apps I have from traveling a lot. There you go. Think I found this one out the hard way? Yeah. Now, another thing that could happen. This is less likely for someone like, us, but I don't know. Let's go with YouTube. All right. Spotting fake links. Someone in chat, let's say, maybe in chat, links a YouTube video, but the YouTube link looks just a little bit off. Let's say it looks like... Wait. The link looks like this. You need to look at the link fully to know that that's an actual link and not something else redirecting you, like u.tube. A lot of this stuff is very minor. If a link isn't clean when I see it, I clean it before I use it. That's the other thing. Now, another thing that you need to understand is if you're sharing something. So I'm going to share the current live stream for this space, which again, you should go follow. Now, if I share that live stream off of YouTube, like I literally click share, it will give me this link, right? Everything from the question mark onward is a tracker in this link. So the clean version of this link actually looks like this. Everything that comes after, like question mark SI and everything after it is a tracker that you can just delete off your link so that YouTube doesn't know where the person got it linked from, got it, clicked on it, and all of that. Like, who sent it? That's data that you can just deny them. Another one I personally like doing. Let's say I want to... Well, I'm sorry, I was going to say just opening Twitter to the homepage live without checking what's on there is a dangerous game to play. But let's say I wanted to link a Twitter file, right? Me talking about ICE robbing people. Now, normally, that link looks like this. You can, instead of using, x.com, you can write fxtwitter.com. And now that's not directly linked to, it'll still open to the same page. However, you're not you're not giving them as much data. Note, Instagram has a terrible version of this where they give the person who sent you a link that says their legal name because it says X shared this video with you. Yeah, I know. That's why I fucking hate Instagram links. I don't touch them at all. I don't even have my Instagram logged in. You have to get in a habit of leave and remove trackers, like an intentional choreographed game of jump rope. It took me a couple times of getting reminded. So here's the other thing. Like, you just gotta remind people, and then they will start doing it. Every time. Like, every time you see one of your friends forget, just be like, oh, don't forget to do that. And then in a couple times, they'll remember. Video going around Australia about a commercial building outside, but inside it that has a hole going straight down like a missile silo near the Pentagon antenna arrays. Called it a portal. I don't know what the fuck that is, but you mean Pine Gap? I'm not sure what you mean by that. But, again, not related to the class, guys. Now, sorry, get a drink of water. You can also, what we did with, I can't do this practice with you because I don't have any browser extensions that I can delete at the moment. Like, I literally, I think I have one. No, I have, here. Actually, I can do this with you. So, I want you to go into your browser settings and to clean some stuff up. For example, extensions. Now, mobile dyslexic doesn't work anymore, so I'm going to delete this. But clear URLs is one I'm going to keep. Wayback Machine is one I'm going to keep. Here's the KeyPass XC browser extension, and Dark Reader I'm going to keep. I'm going to delete mobile dyslexic. I don't want it to show anything that might... Oh, never mind. Don't even have to. Easy. Remove extension. Now, I wish that worked, but it is what it is. You're a good teacher? Thank you. I am trying here. It's not exactly a nice format. Like, I would rather be teaching in person, but I only have uBlock Origins. I prefer Ad Nauseam to uBlock Origins, which works significantly better. And I would highly recommend switching over to that. I don't have it running because it will break stream if I tried to have it running at the moment. Especially because you swear, good teacher. I mean, this is like a college level class, so my browsers have very few extensions because I have a habit of wiping my entire PC every so often. That's a good habit to have. This doesn't have many extensions because I actually have multiple different profiles of Firefox. I have a more secure version that has everything locked down in the where is it on? How do I get into the... I can't remember type here. Oh, I didn't write it down. Hold on, I got it. They really, really are trying to hide this one. Is it the /about? No. /something. Anyone who uses Firefox, how do you get into the / settings again? What is the words I'm typing in there? God damn it. I did this yesterday. Oh, come on. You're already halfway there. Ah, thank you. It's about, not /. That's what I was getting wrong. Thank you. Okay, so you can do this. This is a little bit more advanced. You can go into about preferences in your URL, and you can change a lot in there, but about build config, about config. Proceed with caution. This will show you up. Now, let me make sure that's not gonna directly dox me or anything. Perfect. You will see things like this. These are settings that are built into Firefox in your about config. And you can turn some on and off. Some of these are trackers. If you turn some of these off, you might break your ability for your mic to work or your camera to work. Let's say you don't want any camera to work. You can turn it off in the browser settings, period. Now, like, you can turn that off in other places as well, but, like, it's worth doing regardless. Okay, sorry, I had to speed through there because I was like, is it going to show something that's, like, actually important? And it almost did, but not quite. That's unimportant. But if you're going to go into about config, like, know what you're doing, watch a YouTube video on the subject. I'm not going to guide you on that one. But you can do a lot with your browser. You can have several different browsers. Again, like, I have 3 different Firefox profiles, which have different about configs. This is the lightest one because I can stream through it. And then I have one that's heavier encryption and, like, security that I use for, like, normal stuff. And then I have my secure one that blocks basically everything, including JavaScript. Simplest solution, unplug peripherals when not in use. That's also a good solution. Morning in Australia, it is indeed Texas film. My laptop is one of those privacy sliders. That's good too. I mean, personally, like, I don't use my laptop, but if I was going to, I would actually have to open it and take the camera and microphone, the speakers out, because the speakers are a microphone. if you have any speakers, that is a microphone. Even if they're not technically on, but there's only so much you can do. You don't need to put, I don't know, tarps around the windows of your house so that someone can't fucking UV laser your window and hear your conversation. So, you don't have to go that far. We're talking about little things that you can do, small changes you can make one at a time, not all at once. We went over the YouTube tracker links. What else do we got? Okay, here's another exercise we're going to do together. Now, this is something that I'm going to require for people that I trust to have access to the higher clearance rooms in Matrix. And this is going to be a handshake. Now, ideally, I think all of you should do this. I think that this is kind of like the code word that you have to find out if someone's AI or not, that I told you to set up with your parents, but this is a bit more advanced version of it. Now, you create, let's say, a code word for your friends, or ideally, let's say you meet with somebody in person. Then you are talking to them online later to ensure that you're talking to the same person. If the things that you said in that conversation were not put online, you can say, what was the last thing that we talked about? Or a very specific question about the last thing that you talked about. And then they answer. And that is part of that verification. The other thing you could do is ask personal questions that nobody else knows. You can create these code words that you never put online, write them down or remember them, and then use that. And when you are talking to this person, if they don't have the right answer, then that's not the right person. That could be AI, that could be a hacker, that could be a federal agent. It doesn't matter. Have a handshake. This is going to be required. So, as a test, let's say Orange Panda Silver. That's a code word, right? Orange Panda Silver. Who wants to demonstrate this with me? Do I have a volunteer? Because I'm gonna display what this looks like. Ocean Beacon, I like that one too. I already forgot what mine was, so let's do Ocean Beacon. Alright, you can be my volunteer, Mr. Thane. So, I would be talking to you in real life. Let's say we're out in public, and let's say we're talking about how New Yorkers say coffee. Then you get home, I go home, and we talk the next day on a video call. And I ask you, what was the last thing that we talked about? Now, you would come up with that answer, but here's the other part of it. Both sides need to do this. You need to have a question to ask me. So let's say you then ask me, what was your response to how New Yorkers pronounce coffee? And then I have to answer that, which would be, that's the right word to say. Caffey? No, that's New Jersey and Long Island. Coffee. But, so you understand it. And then, let's say we get through handshake 1. We got through that. I asked you the question, and you answered it. You answered the question and then asked me the question, and then I answered it. What's the code word? I want 2 handshakes. Let's say this is a, important conversation. So then you have to give me the handshake code. You're the chat whisperer? Am I really? No, it's just because the people that are in chat are all lovely and actually don't want to die and don't want to be milked by Peter Thiel and Larry Ellison for the rest of their lives. And so again, you would answer Ocean Beacon, and then I would then be like, okay, you're verified. Now, if this was done over a written conversation, that needs to change. The words need to change. That one can't be reused. But if you do it over a call, it's a little bit different. I resent being called lovely. Why? Peter Thiel thinks he can milk me just because I have nipples. He is actively milking you right now. So is Jeffrey Bezos and Larry Ellison. Little on the outside of the topic, but my engineering skills and creative nature to reverse and build directional microwave devices to stop a drone from attacking, loitering, and eavesdropping. I like that. That would be useful. Because you have the ultimate handshake on me. Well, again, it does like it's situational. It's individual wise, and it changes because you have to you can't reuse things. Everything is monitored. Now, breadcrumbs are the things that you're trying to get rid of here. You can't get rid of your entire presence. You're not going to become a ghost. Unless you want to go live in the woods and off the grid, and you have the money and ability to do that, which I'm going to assume none of you do. Your goal here is to minimize your footprint, is to be as small as possible, to hide as much as possible. Every photo you take, for example, on your phone, has GPS location of that photo on your phone. So what can you do? Let's say you want to post a photo online. Well, if you do, and then someone downloads that photo and then looks into EXIF, they can see where that image was taken. So what you can do is you can use sites like this, EXIF Data, where you, and by the way, there are phone apps for this too, you can edit EXIF data or remove it completely. So you should be doing this for every single photo that you're going to post online. That is insane that they can extract the GPS data. Have you ever seen Google Photos where they have like the map and it shows you where each photo was taken? Google Photos literally, like it's a service. You have a timeline, so it shows your whole travel history. They make it sound like, you know, it's fun to have. Remove metadata from phone in settings. That's also some good thing to do. But again, if you're going to post any photo, you want to remove all of the EXIF data. I have some shit to delete. Yeah, you probably do. It works. It works. It's free. You can get a free tool for this on your phone. Just EXIF. That's all you want. To search EXIF remover. You will find one. So all of you, just do one now. That is like, go and find an EXIF app or on your computer and just remove the data from one. Because if you have some trouble, I want you to ask me questions. Like, this is one that I want you all to do. And if you need help, I will help you. Oh shit, Viz knows where I live. I know where all of you live. I know everything. It's bad enough that some states have had to pass laws to ban geo-warrants because police departments could just request like 1,000 people's GPS data. They just buy it, hybrid heathen. They just buy it. All this data gets sold. Everything like that gets, like your phone, whether you have Google or Apple, whatever, your photos collect your GPS data, then they sell it for people who want to give you ads. And then those people who want to give you like ads, or sometimes just the police. They're trying to get AI to be able to geolocate anything like Rainbolt style, even interior pictures, and it's getting better at it. So, again, please try one now. Has any of you finished or had an issue with trying to do this? Keep in mind, every app you install is another potential privacy breach. Review TNCs before installing. That is true. EXIF remover on Android store is generally, I think, a decent one. It is better to do everything on PC. Your phone is a spy machine. This is all it exists for, is to spy on you. That's all this is. The existential doom rectangle as well, like, you know. I'm gonna wait until someone says they're done. Or needs help. Okay, I tried it. Thankfully, the phone took the picture did not attach GPS details to the picture, but it had everything else. That's good. Good. Done? Awesome. If anyone needs help with something like this, let me know. I'm happy to help. Again, if you're not already in the Discord, join the Discord. I will be launching the Matrix server, and everything will be moving over to Matrix. Like, Discord is going to be the home space for people that, like, are new, so that they can get into Matrix. You can't get into Matrix. You can't get in even if you know the domain. And the new Matrix server doesn't have the same domain as the video that I just posted on YouTube, which is, you know, the part 1 of the how to switch to Matrix guide. This being part 2, because using Matrix doesn't mean shit if you're not practicing at least some of these like habits. Can we auto set our phones not to attach any data to your pics? You can auto set your phone to attach less data to your pictures, but not any. It will still attach some data. There is no metadata on the photo I use. Lucky you. Why is YouTube command not working? Oh, it does. It just works late. Now, speaking of your phone, go into your phone settings and go into privacy and app permission on your phone. Look at location access, just location access. Open your phone settings, wherever you are, whichever phone you have. Privacy and security is what it says on Android. I don't know what it says on Apple. Open that. Go into your permissions, settings for your apps, and go and look at location access. Ask them, what? Cookies and site data, that's how used other than populating your emails with other things you viewed. Well, of course, like that's part of clearing everything on your browser as well. You should be doing that regularly as well. And turn off the location data on at least one thing. What's up, Jasmine Rouge? Turn off your location data on at least one of these apps. I mean, I'll check with you guys. Let's do this activity together again. And again, there will be a quiz. YouTube just added a quiz feature, so once I have this video up after Jet, our lovely editor, edits it for me so that I don't have to suffer through that, they will do that, and then I will post that video, and there will be a quiz attached to it. Cool. Yeah, mine's fine too. I hope I get an A. It depends. I feel like a lot of this is quite easy. Allow location access if needed only when using the app. Yep, that's what I do. Like Uber, for example. Sometimes I have to take an Uber, and Uber has no access to my location unless, you know, I allow it. Galactic Streamlord, welcome to the chat. I set DoorDash to don't allow. Yep, and then you can switch it to allow when, you know, needed or when you demand it. And then it'll work. It's better than giving them it constantly, because again, all of that data goes right up this pipeline, right all the way to the top. And again, you're just gonna get milked. So if you don't want to get milked, you gotta do this. Gotta do this. And that's it, guys. That's kind of it. That's like my basics, my fundamental 101 on digital hygiene. There's a lot more that you can do. But I'm not trying to overload you guys. Again, you don't have to do all of this at once. In fact, I reckon you should not try to do all of this at once because there's still a lot to do here. Just the changing your passwords and even like emails in some case, that's a huge task to undertake. So I have location services turned off and I removed permissions for all apps that were always turned on. Sick. This is a great place to start. Yeah, absolutely. It's literally just a start. It's a step in the right direction. And we will grow. Oh, by the way, sorry, I forgot. No one on Twitch knows Galactic Streamlord. So I actually have to write the shout out myself. Shout out to Galactic Streamlord. Go and follow them. Fantastic, fantastic. Believe part of this space, yes? Awesome. Hi, cat hair. So, anyone have any questions? Or does everyone kind of understand where I was going with this whole lesson? Like, I hope that it was a little bit fun too to do the activities together. Oh, not part of this space, but still base, regardless. Not only have I already followed GSL, but I'm a patron. Sick. Hell yes. Will you make a 102 at some point? Probably, yeah. We will, like, I want to get as many of us off of the infrastructure that exists, that is owned by the demons and the system as possible. And so to do that, a lot of people will need help. This is why part 1 of my video is up, and like you can go watch that on my YouTube channel, and that is a explanation of how you can actually get into the server, because it's not how it expects. You're not making an email, you don't have to give them your phone number. No, you have to use the correct domain to get in, and I will give you the domain personally so you can get in. What web browser do you recommend? I got off Chrome and use Brave now. I'm using Firefox, like I said. I have 3 different profiles. This is my streaming profile that has the least security on it, but there it is. There were talks about me joining this space, but never came to fruition. Just the ever-growing Galactic News Network. Thanks for the shout-out, though. Better than that, you're also, because I know who you are, Galactic Streamlord, a mod, because everyone in my chat is a mod that doesn't suck, or rather, like, isn't brand new, and I haven't gotten a vibe check on you yet. Those are the 2 reasons why people aren't generally mods. It's not the only reason, but generally. Anyone else have any questions, guys? Because, like, I'm happy to help. Hell, like, I can do a little bit more of a rundown on elements and what that looks like. You know what? I'll do that right now. Just because I can. I just have to sign out first. The Afroman court case was funny as fuck. I'm glad he won. Didn't even pay attention to that. No, never mind. Elements doesn't work. I forgot. I closed the old server. So now I just have to... There we go. Get it from the... So this is what it's going to look like. Right here, right? And when you click create account, on here, it's defaulting to matrix.org. This is not what you're going to do. You're not going to click OK. Then it's going to ask you for like an email. No, you're going to click edit. And then you're going to put the domain name that I give you in here. And then you're going to make an account that doesn't require an email or a phone number. So I don't remember the validity, but I do remember seeing that Brave sells your data for AI training. They all do. They all do. Mulvad browser technically is all right, but like it breaks a lot of things. I like Firefox because, again, you can go into the about config and then you can turn off a lot of that stuff. And if the AI integration can't be turned off in the about config, some autist will just make a version of Firefox that just has everything without it. Please check Discord DM. Show this man's drip. Discord. Okay, fine. I mean, isn't this the guy who wrote the song like Colt 45 and Because I Got High? We used to sing that all the time when I was in high school. Big Jerry, welcome. Right towards the end of stream. I'm not doing news today, y'all. I'm not doing news today. I could, but it's just acid in my eyes, and I'd rather you focus on, you know, what we talked about and learn from it. Try and do something. One of the things that were listed on this, go and switch to a password manager for one. It's really easy to do at the very least. Hold on, let me see if I can show you how to do that easily without showing you something that I can't show you, without endangering myself. Let's check Chrome. That might help. So, when you go to Google Password Manager, for example, there will be an option in the settings to just export your passwords. It'll come out as a file, like a full file. Import passwords. There we go. You can import passwords to it. You can export passwords from it. Then you can click delete all passwords from the password manager. and then you're done. If you came at the end of the stream, there will be a YouTube video, or you can watch the VOD. You can just watch the VOD. I will be posting the like actual video for this whenever it's ready. Sorry guys, I haven't been looking at chat. I've been looking at, oh my god, the chat is still on? Sorry, we're raiding the chat. We gotta raid the chat. The chat raids us every time. We have to. Now, thank you all for like participating. You are gonna need these skills going forward. When is the quiz? It will be attached to the YouTube video that I post of this. Like there will be an actual quiz bit. So I will see you guys next time. This space is still on? Okay, cool. Hold on. Let me set YouTube to jump over to raid them as well, just because. So give it a minute. Gotta open the link.
19 accused Trump
Got
of
it.
sexual.
And we will be raiding this space. Shout out to this space. I will see you guys tomorrow on this space. Bye-bye. Well, when the raid starts. All right, now, bye-bye.